Hey there friends and greetings. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are getting right into this video in my kitchen per usual. We're going to be cooking, baking, and prepping just some yummy treats. And I'm actually going to start off by prepping my all butter pie crust to make a really yummy cherry pie. I have the worst luck with the grocery like ready-made refrigerated crust. I don't know what happens, but every single time I use them, they shrink. I don't know if there's like some type of secret I'm not in on. Maybe you guys can let me know, but I believe that an all butter pie crust is just way easier and cheaper to make, and you know exactly what's going in it. So that's what I'm making. I'm just prepping that because I want to put the pie crust in the refrigerator to let it chill before I roll it out. And this recipe only takes 4 ingredients. It needs butter, really cold butter. I actually like cut it into 16 cubes. I kind of showed it right there. And then I will put it in the freezer to just make sure it keeps cold. You also just need some really cold ice water, some salt, and some flour. Again, really simple. You can make this and even just freeze it. Put it in your freezer so that you always have a pie crust ready to go. And you can use this for either sweet or savory items. But of course, you guys know me. I love to bake. So generally, I'm always using this for like pies, either blueberry pie or my cherry pie, which is what I'm making today. Cherries are in season. It is one of my favorite pies to make. It is a little tedious, a little bit hard, unless you're using frozen cherries, and then that takes all the work out for you. But we'll get back into that cherry pie here in a second. I'm going to start making some dinner. I was going to start the pie filling right now with the cherries and stuff, but my kids are hungry a little bit earlier today, so I am going to just start the barbecue up. Guys, I really want a Blackstone. If you guys have a Blackstone, make me jealous. Let me know how much you love yours, because I really want one. I have a bunch of spider friends down here that I try not to mess with because they get all the gross little bugs and whatnot, so we don't really clean the inside of here. Just don't bite me, spider friends. Alright, let this warm up. So this is what we are having for dinner tonight. You probably just seen my Costco haul. These seasoned drumsticks are so good. And then I'm gonna pair it with some Caesar salad and then some more vegetables. So like half of this bag of green beans. And then I forgot the other day I made some macaroni and cheese, my stovetop macaroni and cheese. And so I'm just gonna reheat that. And I think I might need to get the Trader Joe's. I think I have one more Trader Joe's macaroni and cheese left in my freezer that I can probably supplement because there may not be enough mac and cheese. So I'm just gonna put this together real quick. These I'm just gonna saute, and of course I'm just waiting for the barbecue to warm up. Have you guys tried any of the salad kits from Costco? This Caesar salad kit is so yummy. My kids eat it up. I don't know what is so good about it. I don't know if it's the dressing. I used to be obsessed with making my own Caesar, like actually buying like the little anchovy like fillets and like really like mincing them really well into a dressing. And we would use it all the time, not just for like salads, but like to dip things in. Like there was a moment that we were just obsessed with it. So it's been a while. Maybe that's why we are loving it right now. It is just so refreshing and yummy. And I know it's probably cheaper to just buy all of the ingredients and then make multiple salads. But when you are just feeling like not doing anything, these salad kits just come in clutch. So very grateful for that. And guys, let me know, how is your summer going? We are like at the very beginning of summer here. We are kind of just slowly doing a few things. If you saw my last update, I was kind of talking about how my son has been doing, and he's been doing very good. We actually have an ultrasound here coming up in LA, and that ultrasound is going to tell us how the surgery went. And then a few weeks after that, we have a doctor's appointment with his actual surgeon. But as far as vacationing goes, we don't really know. It's still honestly up in the air. We're really going day by day. We've done like a day trip to the mountains. We enjoy hiking and things, but we haven't really officially planned anything. We enjoy going up north. So if you are new to my channel, we live in the Central Valley of California. We're like 2 to 3 hours away from everything and anything. And what we've been doing the past several summers is going up north about 5 hours away from us, up into the Redwood area. and it's been so nice. So we don't know if we maybe want to attempt to go further, maybe like up towards Eureka. Is that what it's called? Or Wairika? Somewhere up there, somewhere up north is what we were thinking about. Now that our kids are getting a little bit older, mainly my daughter, now that she's getting a little bit older, she's doing way better in cars. So I feel like we can make longer road trips. So we've been toying around with maybe doing that next month. So we'll see what happens with that. In the meantime, though, I do have some like vacation meal ideas. If you guys are planning some summer trips, our summers are a little bit short because my husband does go back to work like late July when my kids go back to school in mid-August, or maybe like a little bit early August. So we're kind of running out of time here to figure out what we're doing, but hopefully we can do even like a quick maybe weekend beach trip or something. Now we are getting into my cherry pie. Guys, if you have been doing like deep pitting cherries or pitting cherries, whatever, the old fashioned way, you guys need to get this tool. It has been a lifesaver for my hands. I have tendonitis and this thing is absolutely incredible. I wish I knew about it years ago. The cherry pie is amazing, incredible. But to get to the pie, like it takes so much work to make it. And this is the part where you put on a movie or an audiobook or music, or in my case, I'm watching the Giants play the Dodgers. So this is definitely a time-intensive type of pie, but guys, it is so worth it. It's also more helpful if someone can like de-stem them and help them in that way. And then the other thing, you have to come in and then cut them. So I mean, if someone even wants to start cutting them after you've removed the pit from them, but trust me guys, way worth it, way worth it. And don't worry, this cherry tomato is not going in there. Adelaide was rolling the tomatoes towards me because I kind of picked a few of them. And I'm just gonna come in here real quick and have these. This is the easy part for sure. And I always like to do it on a white plate just so I can make sure that there are no pits. So I'm pretty sure everything came out, but I always like double checking at this point. See, I found one up. And that's why I always double check. All right, we are finally done. Let's get this on the stove. This part is so easy, goes by in no time. In the saucepan, we're gonna add these cherries. All right, then in here, we're gonna squeeze in some lemon juice. I should probably use this, just in case for seeds. That seed just came through. Ay, what's the point then? Oh, and another seed. Get back here. Oh my gosh. I mean, lemon seeds aren't terrible, but it's a little bitter. You don't want to bite into it. Some sugar. And we're going to put this on the heat. And then we're going to add in some cornstarch and some almond extract and vanilla extract. There we go. I'm going to start stirring this. And this will be on here for like 5 to 10 minutes, not too long, before I add in the cornstarch and the extracts. And while that's going, I'm gonna get started on the bottom pie crust. Did I mention I am not a professional baker, so please do not judge how I roll anything out or do anything. Again, I'm just doing what my hands are able to do. Sometimes I have to use like my wrist and my arms to roll things out, so it's not going to be perfect. Also, whenever I go to make this pie, it's never perfect. In fact, if it was my husband's choice, I would be leaving the excess crust on. Now, I know a lot of people like will remove that excess pie crust just to make it look really pretty and uniform, and I do that occasionally, but my husband prefers more crust to filling. He's very, very strange. Unless you guys like that too, let me know. Do you guys like more of the pie filling or more of the crust? Let me know. But he would prefer way more crust. So a lot of these juices have come out. So now I'm going to add in the cornstarch and the extract. And I'm going to let it cool down for like 10 minutes maybe like 5 to 10 minutes before I pour it into the pie crust. While the filling is cooling, I'm gonna start on the other pie crust. So you can make the top however you want. You can do a lattice, but you know what? My husband loves a whole pie crust because he loves crust. So I'm just gonna leave it. That's gonna be way easier for me. You just have to make sure if you do one of those like whole pie crust that cover the entire pie, you need to create a few little slits in it just to let it vent. I'm not gonna put too much flour because it feels a little bit dry, like I didn't put enough water, but we'll see how this goes. I did end up adding a little bit more water into that pie crust just to add some more hydration into it. You can always just kind of add it in there. I'm pretty sure I'm doing it all wrong, but again, I'm not a professional. Also, whenever you go, if you ever end up making this, first off, you need to leave me a comment on my blog post. But second off, when you see that going in there like that, it looks really liquidy and you think like, oh my gosh, how is this gonna firm up? It will definitely firm up while it's baking. And then the other kind of sucky part about this is that you do gotta let it rest for a long time after it's baked. I don't mean a long time, maybe like 5 to 6 hours, at least 4 hours, I would say. We generally do it overnight. So I make the pie really late at night and then we will eat it the next day. And guys, see all that excess crust? My husband would kill me if he saw this because he would just tell me to fold it up over onto the crust like itself and just make it really thick. But this, half of this, actually I should say like 3/4 of this pie is actually gonna go to my father-in-law for Father's Day. I'm sure he would prefer this over any other type of present. He likes sweets just as much as the next person. So we ended up just taking one slice of this, which you'll see later, and then giving him the rest, which he was super happy about. After dinner was all cleaned up and the pie was in the oven, my husband actually went to a softball game. He does softball during the summers and during school too, just kind of like keeps them in shape and active and whatnot. It's his form of workout, he says. So while he's at softball, I challenged my kids to a round of Mario Kart on the Switch. Do you guys remember the original Mario Kart on the N64? I was an old pro at it, but I had to dust off my skills and show up these kids and let them know who they were dealing with. I'm the one that was in first position, you guys. Yes, that is me. I know how to drift and all that stuff, but let me tell you, they are actually very good at it. So there were some races where I was just like dead last. I could not keep up, but it was really fun to just hang out and play a few rounds. And while we were playing, I did have to pull the pie out really quick, and here it is. I did have to cover the pie a little bit with some foil around the edges of the crust just so that it wouldn't burn. But look at all that yummy juiciness. And then the next morning, we are going into the next morning. Generally, I don't do like a next day type of situation. I try to do everything in one day. But I figured, you know what, let's maybe get back into that. We'll see where that goes. We are making some breakfast burritos, some egg and chorizo and potato burritos. And of course, some cheese is going to get thrown in there too. I'm not making a massive batch. I'm going to say like maybe this makes about 12 burritos because I did add a couple more in there just to have for our freezer. Generally, I make these for our freezer. And so this morning, I was like, I'm going to make some breakfast burritos to eat for breakfast and then save the rest for the freezer for another quick breakfast idea. And these are really good to have. They are not ginormous burritos. I need to say that. Like my oldest, my 12-year-old, he will have 3 of them, like to kind of fill them up. I won't say completely fill them up. My daughter will have 1. My middle son will have 2. I generally will have 2. So again, they're not huge, but they do the job, especially if you pair them with like some more fruits and of course coffee for us, milk for the kids and whatnot. So this is just a really easy breakfast idea if you guys are looking for one. Also this morning, I'm going to be prepping my chicken bacon ranch bake. This is easy, so yummy. Not nutritious whatsoever, but there is some protein in here, you guys. You have to give this a try. This is actually going to be going over to my in-laws' house, along with that cherry pie, like I mentioned. My in-laws were actually going to watch our kids for a couple nights while we went to Vegas just very randomly. It was very last minute. Our neighbors invited us and we surprised his wife, which is one of my really dear friends. And so we showed up just for a few nights. But while we were in Vegas, we went to this little speakeasy inside of the Cosmopolitan. It's called the Ski Lodge, I believe, or Super Frico Ski Lodge. And it's like an 80s ski lodge, and it plays 80s music. We were seated actually by a little fireplace, and the inside is just done up so nice. It is just such a fun vibe. And I am all about the 80s, you guys. Now, I am an 80s baby. I was born in 1984, just to show you how old I am. but I am obsessed with all things 80s music. In fact, everywhere we went when we were in Vegas, everyone was like DJing 80s music. Is that like the trend right now? Because I am for it. I love all things 80s. So this was like right up my alley. It is so fun. Now it is pretty little inside. So if you ever decide to go to Vegas, you guys have got to check it out. Get there right at opening. We did, and there was a little bit of a line, but we didn't have to wait very long at all. So that was just part of our fun. It was just like I said, a fun getaway, just the adults, which is definitely necessary for me and my husband just to kind of get back together, regroup, recharge just as a couple without our children. We love them very much, but we also know that we need to take care of our marriage as well. So we love those little couples only getaways. So to make it a little bit easier on my mother-in-law, I decided to whip this up. And honestly, this comes together very fast. You just need some chicken breast, and I'm kind of like doubling it almost. And I'm spreading it across 2 foil pans so she doesn't have to wash anything, just throws them away. But I have several chicken breasts in here. I almost doubled the topping that you put on top, and I just stuck this in the freezer, and then she would just need to make it either that night or the night before, however that works out. And so this will make an actually great weeknight dinner, especially once school starts back up again. Just something that you can prep in the morning and then stick in the oven later that evening. I've never tried freezing this. I'm not sure if this would be a good freezer meal option. I'm not sure if that cream cheese would freeze okay. Maybe it would. I don't know. Maybe I should give it a try sometime just to let you guys know. And here is that delicious cherry pie that did sit overnight. So I know that the filling is going to be nice and firm and not runny, no juices anywhere or anything. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so yummy. Now I would have given him the whole pie. You might be wondering, why are you just giving him, a pie that's already been cut into? It's because I have some anxieties about things like this. I like to make sure that they taste good, because what happens if I accidentally messed up and it tastes terrible and I send that? I would be so embarrassed. I'm always, of course, generally good with cookies and brownies and whatnot because I get to taste it then. But the pie, I had to take a slice out to make sure it was good, and it was very good. And guys, this is where I'm actually going to leave us off. My older son grabbed my camera and kind of set it up and made a little time lapse of my pug. His name is Percy. He is going to be 15 this summer. So I thought I would just end it right here and leave this as my outro. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, friends.